What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm doing something that I've been wanting to do for a long time to my SUV, my 2002 Cadillac Escalade right behind me. And as you guys saw in the little preview, it's installed a dual battery, a second battery, and an inverter, so I can go camping and whatnot. Basically plug in anything I want to in my little inverter. I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how I did it, how I ran everything. I'll leave a link in the description down below to everything I bought and used to install this. Really wasn't that hard, a little bit time consuming, but not too bad. I think I got all this done for right under 600, right around there. So if you want a reliable second battery setup for your vehicle, then this video is for you. Alright guys, so I was doing some research before I did this and I found a couple good videos to help me out. So I'm also going to leave a link down below to the video that I mainly use to help me do all this. It's kind of what I do. I like to see someone else do something and then kind of modify it to my own use. Either way, I'm going to show you guys how I ended up doing it all for my Escalade and how my system's set up. So the video I watched seemed like the dude had a pretty good setup. It was working well and he knew what he was talking about, so I pretty much just used the same setup he bought, all except for the inverter. The inverter was a 1500 watt inverter and mine is a 1100 watt inverter. Alright guys, so the most important thing here that I used was really this automatic dual battery kit, just a battery isolator kit. Like I said, I'll leave a link down below to everything. So this is the guy that is right here. This is the actual isolator. And with the kit, it comes the power cable that you need and the ground cable. So this is the smart battery isolator. When it senses from my main battery, my starting battery, when it senses 13.4 volts or higher, this turns on and it gives power to the second battery. So basically, whenever you start the vehicle and the alternator is active and charging, it turns on the other battery. And as soon as you turn it off, as soon as the charge goes below 12.9, it shuts off this sensor. So then the main battery is separated from the second battery. That's why it's an isolator. And just another little tip, when it is on, I'll show you here in a second, a little blue light comes on. So like I said, right now the alternator is not on, so it's not charging, so the voltage in my main battery is 12.9 or lower. If we go over and look at my inverter, it's saying that I have 12.6 on my second battery. So that makes sense. If we go in and start my Escalade, so I just started it. You can see it still says 12.6. Oh, now it's 13 up, see? Well, let me turn off the music. So it was at 12.6. And then as soon as I turned the Escalade on and then the isolator sensed that the alternator was giving a charge, it went above 13.4. So the isolator kicked on and started sending power to the second battery, which is right there. It's pretty cool if you turn on this little heater. Just a little space heater I have. And you can see how many watts it's drawing. Sorry, it's upside down. It's at 255, 240. But you can see the watts it's drawing and the volts that's always at. Then if we go up front, you can see that little blue light is on, just like I said. So as the alternator's on, this is where I connected it to right here. The alternator's giving power to here, charging, so to turn this on. So in this dual battery kit, it gives you everything you need to hook up this isolator to the second battery. The only thing that it didn't give me was these wire protectors. So I bought all these little wire protectors at Advanced Auto and just put them on myself. It's actually pretty simple wiring. Ideally, I wanted to have it hooked up to the positive on my battery, but this right here is basically the same point. This is right where the alternator connects to. So all I need is the charge to be above 13.4. Either hooking it here or here works for me. This has been working fine, hooking it up right here straight to pretty much the alternator. I might end up putting it to the main battery, but this is working fine for me for now. So you have positive cable coming off the battery or the alternator. It comes around, goes into the isolator. The directions are real easy to follow. And then another positive comes out of the isolator, goes right down here, this one right here, goes through my firewall. I have another protector on it, you can see, that goes through the firewall, keep it from getting cut or anything. So the one that comes out of the isolator is the one that goes all the way back to the battery. So if you look in here, this is it coming down right here. It comes around here, down here, all the way along here, through there, all the way along here. Then it goes up through here, up in here, and then I'll show you here in a second how I did this. All right guys, so now we're back at the second battery, and I'll show you. I didn't plan on putting the battery here. My plan was to actually put the battery right under here, and I thought I did all the measurements right and got the right size battery, but no matter what I did, this little red piece was in the way. Even if I took this out and remove that black guy down there, that little support, there still wasn't really enough room to make it fit nice without cutting this off. So I didn't want to do that. So I actually had a really good spot back here, which I completely overlooked. This little spot pretty much fits a battery perfectly. This is a M24 size battery, so a little bit smaller than a regular one, but you can see here pretty much it only sticks out about maybe a full inch. So I'll explain all this real fast. It's actually, like I said, pretty simple stuff. So this blue one, this one you can pretty much ignore. This one, this is the one that goes to my amplifier for the subwoofer. I had this blue one going through my firewall to the main battery, but now since I have this, I decided to reroute the power and just hook it up to this second battery. This is the little cover that was for this little space that I have here. It's a little, I don't know, storage space, but you have this little cover here, and it has two hinges. The one was broken anyway, but it was just in here and you could flip it up, and then down here on the bottom, this is where it goes in. So right where it went in, that's where I ran the cable for my amplifier. Came out right there, and then the two top spots right there and right there, that's where I ran the negative battery cable and the positive battery cable. I just drilled some holes right in this little battery box that I bought. Like I said, I'll leave a link to it. But you can see the red comes out right here. The black comes out right there. Comes out right there, didn't have to drill any holes. And the red one comes out right there somewhere, didn't have to drill any holes. So right where that little nub went into, the wires were able to fit perfectly through there. Installing this whole battery back here in this little spot I didn't have to drill any holes in any of this stuff. And then I have this little cover that just goes right over top, just like that. I actually have a couple screws I forgot to mention that's holding this battery box just down into this thing. And then I have the bungee that holds this on, just kind of holds it in place if I'm driving around. It's pretty solid when the bungee's not on, but I don't really trust it. So when the bungee is on, it doesn't move at all. So with bungee off, if I hit a really bad bump or something, it might pop out of there. It's a really heavy battery. I don't trust just a couple screws in the bottom going down into this plastic to hold it. So that's why I got the bungee too. And the negative just goes right to the body right here, and I just did a self-tapping screw right to some cleaned up metal right here, and the ground worked out perfect. So the last thing is just the power cable that goes to the inverter, and that's this guy right here, and I'll explain that next. Okay, so when you get the inverter, if you get the same inverter I got, I still want to hook this up. This is just like a little remote on-off guy, and it shows you your power level. But it comes with these cables. These cables are pretty thin. Probably be okay, but I have 0 gauge compared to, I think this is 4 gauge or 8 gauge or 6 gauge. I don't even know. When I was watching the video that was helping me do all this, the guy made a very good point. And he said that he hooked up his inverter, which was a 1500 watt inverter, with these cables, and he put full power through it, 1500 watts, and these cables got really hot. And I didn't want that, mainly because I'm having this wire like touch carpet and go back through some things. Pretty much in a situation like this, the thicker the wire, the better. So the thicker the wire, the less resistance. So it's going to be able to send the power it needs to the inverter very easily with this big cable. So this is I believe it's 0 gauge or 1 gauge. Really thick stuff, really heavy duty. I can even upgrade my inverter in the future now, and I won't have to worry because I got this nice heavy duty 0 gauge wire. So yeah, I did have to buy this wire. You could probably get away with going with some really high quality 2 gauge or 4 gauge, but I just went overkill and got the 0 gauge. And I also bought this wire protector from Advanced. This is some like heavy duty stuff, because I really don't want any cuts or anything to happen with this big wire. So that wire, the big one that goes to my inverter, goes back there, and I decided to do it that way because there was already a nice little gap right here. So I didn't want to have to cut anything or make any notches or anything like that. So good, and I wanted to try to hide the wires as best as I could and try to make it clean. So it goes back there along this window down here. This is it right here. Comes out, goes under there. This is it right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. And it goes to this circuit breaker. I'll be honest, I'm not an expert with this. This is a 100 amp circuit breaker. This is the same size the guy in the video I watched use, so I just decided to use the same one. But I can come here and manually break the circuit if I want to. It shuts that off. So yeah, this goes to the circuit breaker, and then the other positive goes out the circuit breaker and straight to the inverter right here. Then there's just the negative. So this is to the frame, or to the body. This comes out of the battery to the circuit breaker, and then from the circuit breaker straight to the inverter. And then you have the ground comes out of the inverter and goes right there to the body. And that ground has worked out perfect for me so far. And yeah, and then you have your inverter that I can turn on. A little heater. I can have a little mini fridge now, a boot dryer, all kind of different things that I can use for camping with this nice little inverter. But yeah, guys, The only thing I really had to buy, it didn't come with the kits, was the 0 gauge wire and then the wire protector stuff, and then the terminal connections for the 1 gauge wire. But super cool little system. Try to make it as clean as possible. And yeah guys, I'm really happy with this. I can't wait to really test it out and do some long road trips with this thing. I just got this new battery. You don't need to get a new battery, but I was due for one anyway. But this is a really nice battery that I got. I really recommend getting the wire covers just to really protect your wires and clean up your look a little bit better, especially when you're going through like the firewall. There can be some sharp edges and stuff, so I definitely really like this wire protection I got as well. I haven't showed you guys this. I'm gonna make a whole separate video for this little platform that I built inside my Escalade. It has this long rubber thing for sleeping, and I have a little drawer shelf system right here. Works pretty good. So that's gonna be my camping setup. I'll have all that in a separate video. So that's my dual battery setup, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this helps someone out. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer it. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and drop a big thumbs up down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. So that's gonna be all, guys. Hope you have a great day. Peace.